A criminal investigation confirmed at City Hall as Alberta eyes a new code of conduct.
It's pretty ridiculous that the provincial government took it away originally.
How the province plans to oversee all Alberta municipal officials. A family plea for caution on Calgary roads.
His bike sits in my home untouched, never to be ridden again.
The new push as crashes and fatalities hit a 10-year high. And as youth unemployment soars,
I think there should be more programs just like this one right here.
Events in Calgary and Banff offer opportunities.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Alicia Fieldburn.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Alberta is planning a new province-wide code of conduct for municipal politicians. It comes after the government banned communities from having their own rules and amid a criminal RCMP investigation at Calgary City Hall. Jordan Canagan reports.
The province is proposing a new way to keep municipal councils responsible.
The Councillor Accountability Framework allows local municipal leaders to be able to hold their colleagues accountable. There's an independent review and an independent appeal process.
If passed, all Alberta municipalities would fall under the same code of conduct. It'll be for complaints against council members about misconduct, bad behavior, misuse of influence, and allegations of financial impropriety. Complaints would be looked at by a third party appointed by the province.
We absolutely should have a code of conduct, and it's pretty ridiculous that the provincial government took it away originally.
Last spring, the province amending rules to prohibit municipalities from implementing their own codes of conduct. In Calgary, it meant the city no longer had an integrity commissioner and ethics advisor.
Nobody's missing the old code of conduct rules that we had at City Hall because they were abused, quite frankly. They were used too often. They took up a tremendous amount of time for councillor's office, batting down useless and frivolous complaints.
The proposed rules come a week after RCMP seized cell phones belonging to current councillor Andre Chabot, former Mayor Jody Gondek, and former councillor Sean Chu, following on a complaint to Calgary Police last fall.
The nature of this complaint, Jason, as far as I understand, is criminal in nature. Accusations of fraud and corruption. As such, the appropriate body for that is the police of jurisdiction.
Williams says the most serious allegations and complaints in the future will still go through law enforcement and the courts. Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
And when the legislation passes, new regulations could be in place by the end of this year. The new framework would also establish a sunshine list to publicly disclose the salaries of municipal officials. Calgary police are investigating after a serious assault in the southeast community of Ogden sent one man to hospital last night in life-threatening condition. Mark Villani reports.
It's a quiet and dark-looking street, but a light from this window remains on as officers hold the scene. Police say a fight occurred inside this home around 9 o'clock Wednesday night, startling some neighbors who woke up to the sound of sirens.
Lots of police and the ambulance pulled up, and we just heard one of the policemen come out and told them to get in there because the guy wasn't breathing. And so they went rushing in.
Officers responded to the house on the 2300 block of Crestwood Road. It's here where one man was rushed to hospital in life-threatening condition. The search for suspects is ongoing as the CPS homicide unit takes over the case.
It's not surprising, unfortunately, to see police here, which is sad, because they've been here a lot. We phoned them a lot. Everybody's phoned them because it's just always something bad going on.
Police are calling this domestic in nature, but haven't clarified what that means for a relationship between the individuals involved in this assault. Kimberly Buchan lives a few doors down. She says people are often seen coming and going from this home.
Well, we've noticed more transients because, as you can tell from across the way, there's more houses being fenced off. So they're going into these houses, so we have an issue with that in the community.
Meanwhile, others are raising concerns about possible drug activity.
It's like a flop house, basically. There's always trouble there. Fighting or drugs or criminal activity, you name it.
And while investigators continue to search for leads, those living nearby remain on edge, concerned for their safety.
So we stay inside and we go out during the day, but nighttime we don't leave the house too often because you don't know what's going to happen.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Police want to know if you recognize the suspects in a Calgary shooting that happened in the community of Taradale in August. Now, one suspect appears to be a woman with a slim build, and the other appears to be a man. Both were in dark-colored sweatshirts. On August 8th, two people got out of a black truck and fired multiple rounds at two men outside a home along Tarawood Grove Northeast. The victims were taken to hospital in life-threatening condition, but have since been upgraded to stable condition. Anyone with information on the case should contact police. 7 people are facing a total of 221 charges in connection to a string of shopliftings at several businesses in the Calgary area. Investigators accuse the group of working together in a series of robberies of 73 Ace Liquor and TJX Canada stores. They happened between March and October of last year, costing the businesses more than $96,000. An 8-month investigation between CPS, RCMP, and Lethbridge Police led to numerous theft, robbery, and weapons-related charges against the 7 men and women. One person has been arrested, but police are trying to locate the others. As Calgary heads toward a grim new record, city officials and police are begging drivers to pay attention to the road. There's been an increase in traffic collisions and fatalities this year, and many cases involve speed and cell phones. As Tim Brooke explains, there is an easy fix.
Chelsea Meza says June 1st, 2020 marked the beginning of the worst chapter of her life.
I was at home making dinner for us, and Corey was on his way home from work on his bike, as he did every day.
Chelsea's husband, Corey, was cycling through this intersection along McLeod Trail. Despite having the right of way, he was struck by a car.
Instead of eating dinner together on our couch, Corey fought for his life at the Foothills Hospital, and I spent the evening talking to doctors.
Corey died 3 days later. Unfortunately, it's a story that's not uncommon.
I know a lot of people think themselves that it'll never happen to them, but they've got to be aware of what they're doing when they're in the vehicle.
There have already been more than 5,000 collisions in the city this year. 8 people have been killed, including 3 pedestrians. That's a 10-year high.
We're trending in the wrong direction. We are 50% up on last year's fatalities.
An ongoing video campaign launched by the city and police is trying to show Calgarians the crashes didn't need to happen.
All that potential.
Despite the city making road improvements, speed and distracted driving are still causing problems.
There are infrastructure upgrades, so things like advanced turn arrows, curb extensions, and other geometric changes that we do on the network.
But more still needs to be done. So the message from Chelsea is a simple one. Slow down and look up.
Corey doesn't have a voice anymore. People who have been in these accidents, they can't speak for themselves, so I can speak for them.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
The Icefields Parkway between Lake Louise and Saskatchewan Crossing has reopened. Snow blocked the road while Parks Canada was doing avalanche control. It was meters deep. Crews have been working all week to clear this massive pile of snow near Mount Hector. The highway reopened this afternoon, but it is still single-lane alternating traffic near the slide. Alberta's Elections Boundaries Commission is calling for 2 new ridings in Calgary due to population growth. Calgary Confluence would be inner city, and Calgary Nose Creek would be in the north part of the city. For the first time, the council also recommended 4 hybrid ridings in Calgary that include rural areas outside the city. Calgary Glenmore Sutuna would add in the First Nation, and Calgary Falconridge Conrich would include communities east of the city. The commission said that there was a campaign against these hybrid ridings. The UCP caucus is reviewing the report. A public meeting tonight focused on what should happen to the Bay Building downtown. Dozens of people attended the meeting hosted by Heritage Calgary and the Downtown Association. Now, the Bay opened in 1913 and closed last June. In the fall, the National Trust for Canada added the building to its endangered places list with a ranking of immediate threat. It lacks heritage designation to protect it, but advocates hope that the history will be preserved.
In conjunction with the upcoming projects at Workland, the Stephen Avenue Revitalization Project and Olympic Plaza, we see this as an amazing opportunity to essentially rebrand our city and get going with a new economic engine.
Ideas discussed for its future include an event space, hotel, or grocery store. The Downtown Association says the business is in receivership, so they don't expect to learn more about the building's potential future until later this year. A popular central Alberta tourist attraction has received a clean bill of health. An engineering report on Tyra the Tyrannosaurus says the Drumheller attraction is safe, stable, and ready to welcome visitors. It says about $154,000 of repairs are needed, plus ongoing maintenance costs. The Drumheller Chamber of Commerce was going to dismantle the dino in 2029, but Tyra got a reprieve thanks to public outcry. The Chamber welcomes funding proposals about how to keep Tyra from extinction beyond 2029. Okay, Danielle, if you want to make outdoor plans, tomorrow afternoon would be the best of the week to do it, I suppose.
Yeah, take advantage of it because it doesn't look like we're going to get above freezing other than tomorrow afternoon for the rest of the week. So enjoy it. It will come with a good amount of sunshine, so sun and cloud expected, and it will still be cold to start. So keep in mind you'll still need the toque and the gloves and the bigger coat for the morning hours. Between 7 and 8 a.m. it will likely feel closer to -16 with the wind chill. But then winds will kick in out of the south. That will bring in a warmer air mass, getting us up to about 7 with a good chunk of sunshine and some cloudy periods at times. So our next snowfall is set to arrive on Sunday. We'll talk about that just ahead.
Thanks, Danielle. Would you be more likely to buy a home if new appliances were added to the deal? That's just one of the ways local home builders are looking to sweeten the pot amid slumping home sales.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Home sales are down significantly in Calgary and Edmonton compared to last year, and Alberta home builders are getting creative to encourage people. One is offering to cover mortgage payments for a year. Nicole Weisberg reports.
Edmonton has seen back-to-back years of record home builds. While construction has been full steam, sales are starting to slow.
Well, we have seen a shift in our market. So our inventory levels right now are about 30% higher than we were last year. And the last time that I checked, about 30% of our current listings on MLS right now are new builds.
The change is prompting some home builders to offer new incentives. Mattamy Homes says it will cover the first 12 months of mortgage payments up to $4,100 a month for buying with it in certain neighborhoods.
And I think initiatives like the mortgage incentive idea is really a pragmatic way for us to help people overcome whatever concerns there are that's stopping them from getting off the fence.
Everything you can think of and need is included.
Jamin Homes is another builder trying to entice buyers. It recently upped the included features for its homes, adding a washer and dryer, front landscaping, and blinds.
This is a normalizing market. So it's a shift from what was a seller's market last year to now a balanced market. We're not at a buyer's market yet.
And the Realtors Association of Edmonton doesn't believe it will shift to that, at least this year. It points to Edmonton's relative affordability for homes and continuing interprovincial migration.
The slower paced market is actually great for buyers because it gives them a little more time to think, to choose, to do their due diligence, make sure they're doing home inspections, which last year we saw a lot of people skipping that because you're competing in multiple offers.
Meaning builders, sellers, and the like may have to adapt and find new ways to gain business. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta recreational property values are expected to rise this year. A report from Royal LePage predicts recreational homes in the province will go up 2.5% this year. Last year, the median price was $860,000. Royal LePage says demand for homes near Banff National Park has remained steady. The report also says the Buy Canadian movement is affecting the recreational property market, with many Canadians planning to sell their properties in the U.S. Alberta is doing its part to remove interprovincial trade barriers in the face of a strained relationship with the United States. New legislation aims to make good on an agreement all provinces and territories signed with Ottawa last year. It will allow provinces to recognize each other's regulations on most goods, avoiding duplicate inspections and other requirements. The agreement does not apply to alcohol, cannabis, food, livestock, tobacco, or plants. The province believes industries like oil and gas, logging, and fertilizer production will benefit the most. The goal is to make it easier for businesses to access new markets across Canada.
There are different rules for each of those provinces, and that is so confusing and very difficult to navigate that some businesses will just throw their hands up and say, what's the point? We'll just stick to Alberta, stick to the market we know. This is creating a level playing field across Canada.
Alberta will keep its own rules in place for products including pesticides, plumbing equipment, and gift cards, which cannot expire in our province. The Free Trade Pact starts June 30th. Well, it's rarely been as difficult as it is now for young Canadians to find a job, and today thousands gathered in hopes of getting work. Teens and young adults streamed into the Big Four building for the city's annual Youth Hiring Fair. In February, Canada's youth unemployment rate rose to 14%, but there's some hope for young workers. Many summer jobs are opening up, and some employers plan to hire hundreds of people.
We hire a lot of youth. We have 24 sites here in Calgary alone, and then we have a bunch of more sites in Edmonton. We hired over 300 staff last year in the province of Alberta, so we try to hire just as many people as we possibly can, and we really try hard to make sure people get as many hours as they can too, because we know if you get a job and you don't, like, you work a week, that's not cool, so we really try to make sure we get as many hours for everyone as possible.
Youth unemployment in Alberta is slightly higher than the national average at 14.6%. And there was also a job fair in Banff today ahead of the busy summer season. 32 employers looking to fill more than 600 vacancies took part in the Bow Valley Job Fair. Many businesses say it's difficult to fill positions. They're facing a Canada-wide shortage of tourism workers, exacerbated by a lack of affordable housing in the area.
I see a lot of people just show up to the Bow Valley and struggle to find both a place to live and a place to work.
Record numbers in every single sector of our business on full capacity of the hotel in the entire week. More reservations coming up.
And many businesses are offering seasonal work, but some had long-term opportunities as well. Well, March is typically the snowiest month of the year, and it looks like we do have more in store. Danielle is along next with her forecast.
All right, well, I received some numbers from Environment and Climate Change Canada to sum up these last 2 waves of snow that we've received, because it was so vastly different from one end of the city to the other. All right, Tuesday night through Wednesday morning, anywhere from 3 centimeters in parts of the city to 20 centimeters in other parts of the city. You know if you got those 20 centimeters, absolutely. Wednesday night through Thursday morning, this last round we had traced to 8 centimeters. So some localized areas saw a total of 28 centimeters of snow. Quite a lot for the city. Again, we need this moisture, but not fun to shovel. Heaviest amounts were in the north end for the most part, because we had this narrow band of snowfall that really didn't move and just stayed over the area for quite a while, was able to deliver a good amount of snow. Our next round of snow is on schedule to arrive Sunday, so we'll talk more about that in just a second. It was a cool one today. We were all below freezing. -4 was the high in Calgary, -3 in Lethbridge and Milk River, -8 was the high in Medicine Hat. Winds were fairly calm for most communities. Radar and satellite showing you things have just quieted down and cleared out. So for tomorrow, we are looking at nice conditions and a lot of brightness. The sun will be out for much of the day with some cloudy periods here and there. That's the afternoon. As we get into Saturday, the clouds will increase as this next system approaches. So it will start to make its way down the mountains. Later in the day and closer to the supper hours, we could even see a few flurries in the city, and then Saturday night it really makes its way in, and then we'll stick around for parts of Sunday. On and off snowfall could lead to an amount that we could have to shovel once again. We're looking at 3 to 6 centimeters. I'll keep you posted tomorrow as we get closer to give you an update on the totals expected for Sunday. But 7 degrees is our high tomorrow. It will be a really lovely day, but you have to be prepared for a cold start. It will still feel closer to minus 16 between 7 and 8 a.m. And then wind from the south will kick in and start to warm up our temperatures. So by the afternoon, sun and clouds, 7 degrees, really nice. We go back into a cold stretch once again on Saturday. Clouds increase throughout the day on Saturday, and by Saturday night, some flurries will kick in. And by Sunday, Saturday night through Sunday, 3 to 6 centimeters of snow that will likely carry into early Monday morning. We won't even get back to the freezing point until Tuesday of next week.
Thanks, Danielle. Your childhood activities can spark your future career, and that's why local girls are getting the chance to add science, technology, and engineering to their pastimes in hopes of attracting new perspectives to these industries. Some telescope teamwork has created the most detailed view of Saturn to date. The images were captured in 2024 by the James Webb and Hubble Space Telescopes, with each one telling a different part of the gas giant's story. While the Webb image shows clouds and chemicals in the atmosphere, the Hubble view reveals color variations across the planet. A national group is helping more local students see their potential in fields dominated by others. Kevin Fleming met up with the Hacker Gals.
She's been interested in science since she was in grade 5. Now at 16 years old, Yusra Hashmi leads a club for other girls and gender-diverse students at her school. She's sharing her passion and hopefully inspiring others to get involved in STEAM activities.
Recently, I've discovered something called as bioinformatics, which is basically biology, chemistry, combined with computer science. So I think that's really cool, because I love coding and I also love science.
Hashmi is a Hacker Girl ambassador. The school clubs found across the country create a welcoming space for girls interested in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
I think that other girls, they should look into the tech world, see where they belong.
Hacker Gal says it's important to start in STEAM activities at a young age.
Late primary, early high school is where we start to see folks lose the interest or start to feel like, you know, I'm the only girl in my computer science class. This doesn't feel great.
Erin Westbrook says the ambassador program is run by students for their peers in grades 6 to 12.
The leadership is so critical, because then you're thinking of like who's writing policy, who's influencing decision making, who's leading, who's starting up the CEOs, and that's what we'd love to encourage all of our students, is to dream big.
Eliza Habib hosts lunchtime meetings at her school.
In the first 20-ish minutes, I just tell them what we're gonna do, how we're gonna start this off, and then I just let them code. And then if they need help, they'll call me over, and then I'll help with them.
Habib loves science and doing experiments. She's not sure she wants to pursue a STEAM-related career yet, but knows she can if she wants to.
If you put your mind to anyone, no matter what you are, you can do anything.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Thanks for staying up late with us.